What is up? We're back with some more pro wrestling talk, some more pro wrestling news. This legend passed away recently, and it was wild, man. I remember I did a video on a separate channel, maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, where Virgil had announced that he was sick. And it felt like some people, because, he was vague. It was like he wanted to put it out there, but keep some things private at the same time. And, with the internet, man, a lot of times the way people comprehend stuff, they think certain things are people trolling or something like that. But I don't know, I wasn't exactly sure what ended up being wrong with the legend, but he passed away. And you see these iconic pictures from his service. It's pretty dope. Him there with the $1 million strap. I always loved that Virgil beat Dibiase for that title, and then him with the $1 million man. And this is from Virgil's official account. It says, "We laid our legend to rest Saturday. The send-off was so special, and his friends from all over attended. It was noted it felt like a reunion of sorts. A special thank you to all that contributed to the GoFundMe and helped him have a final send-off. A thank you to Chris Jericho." Man, Chris Jericho, I just got to say, I love his podcast. I love the stuff that he does with Dark Side. I know that's kind of controversial with a lot of the guys out there, like the nature of the business, and some people just are not a fan of it. We'll leave it at that, man. And I didn't even know they have a new season with a couple episodes already up. Logged into my streaming, wasn't able to see it yet. Let me know if you've seen the new season of Dark Side. I think what I heard my bro Jay Millie told me they're like 2 or 3 episodes in. But Jericho, very active, collabing with a lot of people, and I think that's dope, man. Some people say he can be rude to fans or whatever. I mean, listen, no one's perfect. And another great thing about his podcast as well is he does like true crime stuff. He does wrestling stuff. He does old rock and roll stuff, new rock and roll stuff, slasher movies, scary movies, ghost stories. Like, you really get yourself a wide variety of content with Talk is Jericho. And thinking of that, actually, I about a month behind on Talk is Jericho episodes. Life has been crazy lately, so I got to tap back into that. But I guess he, for being a friend and fan of my, special thank you to Jericho for being a friend and a fan of Mike's and his significant selfless donation. So Jericho, did donate, help out the legend. I think that's pretty cool, man. R.I.P. again to Virgil. Still a trip to me, his name was Mike Jones. I didn't even know that. Thank you to all that got to enjoy his final years as the meat sauce god. Yeah, so I don't know. That was like his whole shtick in social media. I didn't exactly understand where it came from, the whole Olive Garden reference, the meat sauce and all that, but people loved it, man. And he had a great sense of humor, which we did see that in WCW with some of the NWO stuff. And later on, when Thunder jumped off, I know a lot of people feel like that era sucked. And I definitely say it was not prime WCW, NWO era. But we saw, like, when some of those backstage or guys rolling up in limos and those little pieces of content and those little skits or whatever you want to call it, segments, Virgil was funny, man. Mike Jones was funny, and he had a great sense of humor. A thank you to all the fans across the world for sharing the joy together and what Virgil stood for. His symbol was so meaningful to so many. We will never forget the hustle and struggle to the top. You are a good man and always wanted to make you proud. Sending love to his family and friends. We love you and share in the pain. Let's all pour a little meat sauce and crunch a breadstick in his honor. So you see here, let's check out some of the other stuff here. Here's the programs again. Pretty dope imagery right there. Holding that $1 million strap. Him and Dibiase. Side note, guys, what do you think about Dibiase's situation with all this stuff with Brett Favre and all that, and the welfare fraud? And you see here, it says, God saw you getting weary. He did what he thought best. Sorry, it's kind of hard to read, y'all. He put his arms around you and whispered, come and rest. You are not forgotten, loved one, nor will you ever be. As long as life and memory last, we will remember thee. We love you, the family. And then there's a really dope NWO picture, Vincent. Still kind of crazy that name was to troll McMahon. And then Virgil's name in WWE, if I'm not mistaken, was to troll um, Goldust Pops, right? Is that what y'all heard? And then pretty cool picture too there when was Andre the Giant was a part of the $1 Million Corporation. Remember, he sold the title to Ted DiBiase, and WWE said we can't do that. He was stripped of the title, and I think Hogan ended up winning it back. Big surprise there, right? Just like in WCW, it was like Hogan, they couldn't get that strap off him for long. When Luger got it, couldn't get that title off him for long in WCW either. When Luger got it, when Sting got it, whoever got it, Um, and then what's this obituary? Let me try to read this. Michael Charles Virgil Jones died peacefully on Wednesday, February 28th, 2024, at the age of 72. Wow, I didn't realize Virgil was that old, man. He looked outstanding for his age. That's pretty amazing, y'all. Born April 7th, 1951 in Wilkinsburg, PA, to the late Warren Sr. and Isabel Elizabeth Wilcox Jones. Michael Jones was an athlete who played basketball and football in Wilkinsburg and was a defensive back at Division II Virginia Union College. Before becoming a boxer and wrestler, he was best known for his days in the World Wrestling Federation. It's always wild to hear it with the F instead of the E on the end, right? As Virgil. The hired, chiseled, and bald bodyguard of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. So quite the athlete, man. Boxer, football player, D2. That's still, man, that's serious athlete right there. Let's continue on. As children in Wilkinsburg, and after their father passed, Jones and his sister Antoinette were raised by their mother, who worked several jobs to support their family on at least one occasion. The siblings lifted money from their mother purse tore it apart and tossed it into a wishing well in hopes they wouldn't get punished. They were Siamese twins, according to Antoinette. So, young bucks coming up, him and his sister inseparable, got into mischief together, jacked some money out my Duke's purse. Hey, if you're from the old school era like me, I bet you they got a whooping for that one, right? When a professional football career didn't pan out after college, Jones played for Pittsburgh semi-pro Wolfpack. Wow, that's a trip, y'all. He played for the Wolfpack, and then later on the Wolfpack in NWO, and was an avid bodybuilder. Jones worked on road construction crews before going to work for the family-owned Grogan Brothers Moving and Storage Company, where his older brothers, Warren T-Bone Jones and Donald, worked. So that's pretty cool, man. Sounds like a man's man, right? Pause. Worked construction, played football, semi-pro football for the Wolfpack, worked physical labor, bodybuilding. This dude was made to be a pro wrestler. While at a gymnasium, famed professional wrestler Mr. USA Tony Atlas befriended Jones and encouraged him to pursue the squared circle. It would be a decision that changed his life. Man, it's always interesting to hear, too, a lot of guys, right? Comment some other guys like Hogan is just one that pops into my mind, finding the Giant in the gym. Like a lot of guys get spotted in the gym. Dude, you ever thought about pro wrestling? You ever thought about it? Really, me? That wrestling stuff? And then they get into the biz and changes their life forever, man. James would go on to become the most interesting athletes to ever hail from Pittsburgh. He would tag team with Soul Man Rocky Johnson, defeat DiBiase for the $1 Million title, and grappled in WrestleMania. He was involved with matches against Hogan, Andre the Giant, Sting, Bret Hart, just to name a few. He was a proud member of the NWO and reminded all who would listen that was for life. Man, whoever did this really outdid themselves telling his story in this obituary, man. So sometimes obituaries are like kind of dry, or I don't know, man. It's not anything any of us want to think about, but we're all going to have one day. And whoever did this really did a great job, man. It had to be someone very close who loved him a lot. You could feel it through the words, you know? Um, Once his in-ring wrestling days were over, Jones returned to Pittsburgh and continued to live a larger-than-life experience as Virgil. He shared autographs, took photos with everyone everywhere. Various rumors swirled, mostly one spun by Jones himself. There's that sense of humor, y'all. The closest secret he held was his age. Until recently, he had the world convinced he was 61. Virgil was loved by wrestling fans all over the world and embraced him with a tight grip. Even when his health faded, Jones never once complained and insisted on going to the casino with his sister or traveling to autograph signings just to be with his friends and fans. In addition to his late parents, Jones is is it predeceased? It says preceded by his brother Warren Jr. He leaves behind brother Donald Jones, sister Antoinette, sister-in-law Gloria, and a boatload of nieces, nephews, and cousins. Virgil also leaves behind countless scores of friends and fans around the universe. So there you see it again, man, with that sense of humor. They said, there'd be countless rumors put out there, most of them by Virgil himself. So dude just seemed like he lived a great life from before wrestling, as an athlete, working in a family business, making local history in the Pittsburgh area, to becoming a pro, wrestler, having a great career. And, these recent years, man, Virgil was always having fun, going to events. I'm still shocked, though, about this man's age. I cannot believe he was 71. Hard work pays off, man. Taking care of yourself. That's a fact. So let's see who's in the comments here. All right, so just a fan right here, right away off top. You see, I'm going to miss his post. The man had a great social media game. He really learned this new era. That's so much part of what made this guy a timeless legend, and the sense of humor and just being an entertainer through and through. All love to Virgil. I bet his merch table is flooded with fans up there. I hope he charges everyone double his rate. Send Virgil to the Hall of Fame. It will do his fans and legacy justice. So there's that question, guys. Will WWE honor him right away? Will he be inducted? Is it messed up to you when you see guys like Virgil who, maybe didn't have the biggest career, or like wasn't a top card guy, but definitely brought his share of excellence to the table, and then it's like that basically they don't get inducted while they're alive. Do you hate to see that? I do sometimes, man, that it's like got to come to people passing away for people to get their flowers, if you feel me. Wish he got it when he was alive. I wish the same too. Shame Vince McMahon never offered him a WWE Hall of Fame induction. Very unfortunate, but now Vince McMahon is gone from WWE. Therefore, it's better late than never. So, it's just something to throw out there, too. We see what an entertainer this guy was. Could you imagine them bringing him in on a Legends deal? Some of the great angles they could have had with him and current talent and other legends, They missed out big time. They flucked up with that one. What a shocker, right? Let's see, true. Let me say this with all due respect. Mike is more known for his meat sauce gimmick than being Virgil, because that alone, he will not be in the Hall of Fame. I don't concur with that. I thought Virgil brought a lot to Dibiase, and then to that whole storyline and winning the $1 million title at a major event, but also WCW stuff now when it comes to summing up a guy's career often gets pulled into the mix when you're talking about this kind of stuff. And I liked his NWO run. Again, it wasn't like he was a top card guy, but he was good at what he did, Agree, definitely. This person says, I agree. They're agreeing with the guy that says, better late than never. Put Virgil in the Hall of Fame. Best bodyguard ever. He was my champ many times in my 90s Hasbro wrestling figures world. Right? Was he ever a champ in yours? We all had our wrestling era as kids, right? I ain't gonna cap. I had pay-per-views and everything. Sad stuff, man. Virgil deserves so much more. Gonna miss him. Wow, I didn't even know he was 72. He literally looked like he was in his late 50s, early 60s. RIP to Virgil. He lived a great life and was part of my childhood memories watching WWF and WCW. Man, and again, that age, like 72, that's like damn near a senior citizen. And this guy looked like he did 50s, early 60s. That's a fact, man. God bless you, Virgil. Meat Sauce Mafia for life. RIP Soul Train. Many a memory for a lot of us 80s, 90s kids. I got 2 autographs from Virgil years ago when I was a kid. Reason why is he spelled my name wrong. I said my name was LJ, but he wrote LJAY. He had a laugh over it. Rest easy, Virgil. This past Saturday, I went to WWF Legend Sorry, y'all. This past Saturday, I went to WWF Legend Virgil viewing funeral to pay my respects for real. I got the opportunity to know WWF Legend Virgil on a personal level. I'm gonna be honest, I cried because I lost the one of my favorite WWF men's wrestler, Virgil. My heart still hurts for the family and friends. So see, still, connecting with fans. Even to this day, man. Gone but never forgotten. RIP, Meat Sauce, sleep well, screw cancer, screw dementia, and thank you for being a good sport and true gentleman. Damn. See you at that Olive Garden in the sky, Uncle Verge. Damn, is that what it was? Cancer and dementia? Real talk, F cancer has taken so many away from us. And then it's wild, too. I got a friend that I talk to from Africa. Talk to him regularly. He said over there, people don't have cancer like that, man. I got, we'll read this one. We'll read these last 2, and then we'll close this out. I got to know Mike really well back in the late 90s. I was a co-worker of his girlfriend that worked at Tropicana Casino in Atlantic City. He came in all the time when he wasn't working, and I shot the shit with him a lot. A seriously nice guy. He'd be in there gambling, but nothing too major. He'd hang out a few hours before her shift was over and would hang out in the video poke room where there were a dozen or so TVs showing all different sporting events. Always a pleasure to talk with him. Again, he was always a really nice guy. So again, a people person, great personality, well loved, and it's sad, man. Like when Virgil passed, and who else passed recently? Anderson, Oli. Me and my bro was like, man, all these guys from our childhood, like, who's left? That's why it was so great that they gave Sting the send-off that they did, quite possibly the greatest send-off ever. Go check that video out if you haven't seen it, man. Some people were trying to mock that send-off. That send-off was amazing, man. I still got to do a video checking out people's comments on that. Beautiful. Rest easy, Virgil in 72. Man, look great. Again, still astonishes me. He really was a different cat. RIP. Hope someone keeps up with the page. So that's another thing, man. A great page here. Hopefully he's got maybe his girlfriend or a family member that will keep this thing going, man, because the people really, really love this guy. We see it. Even in his death, he's still, delivering the fans great wrestling content in a way, if you really look at it, with all the memories and just people here reminiscing. Like, people love this dude. So that, I'm gonna close this out. Let's see what's in the story. Can't really play that. We'll get flagged with the quickness. Remembering my interactions with wrestling superstar Virgil.
And at one point, Virgil just leans over to me and goes, "Greg, why don't you go to the WWF?" And he says that as if, I have never thought about doing that. Like it was going to be some sort of epiphany in that moment. Maybe I should go to the biggest wrestling federation in the world. And I go, well, I don't know if it's just that easy. But he goes, here's what you do. You and your wife. I didn't have a wife. I've never had a wife. You and your wife, you move to Stanford. You buy a house. You call the office. You get a meeting with Vince. And I go, okay, then what? And during the meeting with Vince, you say, Vince, can I have a job? Okay, but what if Vince says no? Virgil, without missing beat, says, you ask again.
What a great guy, man. So with that being said, I'm going to close this thing out. R.I.P. Virgil. What do you guys think about the Hall of Fame stuff? Everything else we touched on in this video. And did you know about this man's age? That's still blowing my mind all over the place, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Let's talk in the comments. Rest up, legend. I'm gone.